Hello there! I did not plan to start this episode this way, but look at this. It just popped up in our inventory. Severed head. Decapitated head. The severing of the neck is unnaturally clean, likely was performed using magic. You have no idea how these terrifying remains ended up in your belongings. What the heck? What is this? First, I wake up and there are a heckload of dead demons. You've equipped the armor, unbending armor. Dexterity bonus to 5. Yes, yes. First, we wake up and there are a heckload of demons dead, lying around. I mean, and now there's a severed head in our inventory. What the hell happened this night? What the heck? Anyway. Journal. What do we have to do? Companion quest. A friend in... missing a demon attack. Information. Don't have that. What do we have to do? Right now, there's not much that we can do, right? Devoured by darkness. Yeah, there's nothing new. Maybe Irabeth can help us? Ah, I thank you for saving the esteemed citizens of Kinabris, even though not all of them deserve to be saved. May Yomide forgive me. Irabeth casts a meaningful look at Count Arende, sitting at a nearby table. I don't really mean that, of course. I just never fail to be astounded by the way that good people seem to perish, while the not-so-good prove to be incredibly, amazingly enduring. Even so, the Count did offer me his aid. He can't be all that bad. Yes, that's not like him at all. Joining the Crusades is a tradition among Mendevian nobles, but Daran Arende was never too keen on fighting demons. The Count has certain reputation in Menden. He's not a pleasant individual by any means, but he's not known for any particular villainy either. The Count enjoys a life of leisure, surrounded by a gaggle of sycophants, who are always eager to badmouth the Queen at his command. He likes settling scores too. There was a hero of the First Crusade, Sir Lent, a kind and honest man. After the end of his glorious career as a soldier, he became a wise mentor to the younger generation. He ran afoul of the Count somehow, perhaps by lecturing him about his idle lifestyle and a lack of purpose. When Solent died, the Count managed to buy a portion of his estate and ordered the knight's helmet to be reforged into a chamber pot. And of course he didn't keep his little joke private. The Queen was particularly affronted by it, because Solent used to be her most loyal comrade in arms. I was there receiving an assignment from Her Majesty, and witnessed the exact moment she found out about the helmet's fate. It's a small thing, but I could see the Queen's anguish at the travesty that had been made of her friend's legacy. That's what our Count is like as a person, and as for his talent for survival, do you know the story of Heaven's Edge? He was the only member of his family to escape with his life, and the demons unleashed a magical plague at the Arende estate. Can you tell me more about the events at Heaven's Edge? I don't know all the details. It happened a while ago, back when I was a mercenary and had nothing to do with Kinabris. I only know that there was a grand feast in honor of Darren's birthday, and all his relatives were invited along with a few other distinguished guests. Everyone died from a mysterious disease someone had unleashed on the estate. Someone. So maybe not necessarily a demon. Haha. Including the servants, the guards, and a number of clerics and paladins, but the young Count survived because of his healing ability, I suppose. Darren does possess an unusually brilliant talent, even if the application of his skills leaves much to be desired. Irabeth scowls. Why is he trying to provoke the Queen? Who knows? It could be some family matter. The Count is Her Majesty's cousin, twice removed or something like that, but I think he simply enjoys infuriating people, Crusaders and Yomide's servants especially. Well, thank you for telling me all this. My pleasure. I'm sorry you had to endure my grumbling. Watching these things happen to my city has put me in a foul mood. The Tower of Estrod has been cleared of demons. Great. The places where the demons have gathered need to be cleared one by one. Then, they won't be able to stab us in the back when we take on the Grey Garrison. Thank you for your service. I have to go. Wait, what? What am I supposed to do? Maybe we have to talk to Seelah. Honestly, I don't know what else to do now. How can I continue our quest line? Seelah. Good days and clear skies. What do you say? Where are we off today? I'd like to know more about you. Ah, of course. Ask anything, I'll answer honestly. Tell me about yourself, Seelah. Where are you from? I'm a little bit from Geb, a little bit from Katapesh, but mostly from the Knights of Iomide. I was accepted and began my training at 14. I belong to their ranks more than I belong to any other place. You've come to Mendev by a long road, haven't you? A very long one. Seelah looks at you cheerfully. A traveler is expected to have amusing stories. Unfortunately, I have only 3 tales of interest, and I'd like to save them for our next feast. Otherwise, I won't have anything to show for myself when it's time to start bragging, and that just won't do. Especially since I'll win the night with my cautionary tale of a battle with chupacabras. Chupacabras? Fascinating. Can't they drink their victims' blood during combat and gain strength from it? Ah, yes. Seelah's face grows serious, and they do it very quickly. They bite one victim, suck out their blood, and then strike their next victim quick as a lightning. But now you've tricked me, and I've started telling the tale. I might as well do it properly. Picture a small town in Qadira, and down the dungeon there's 2 murderers waiting to be executed. The gallows are already built for them. The rope's been brought, but sometimes life takes a surprising turn. Suddenly, a paladin of Iomide appears in the doorway and offers the murderers a deal. If they go with her to fight some monsters, they'll live. If they've survived, that is. The westernmost satrapy of the Padishash Empire of Kilesh, Qadira is a kingdom with the power of a sprawling empire at its back. Qadira is Kilesh's doorway to the inner sea region and is perhaps the single most valuable piece of real estate on Golarion. There's a big difference between imminent death and probable death with a glimmer of hope. Wouldn't you say so? Here we are traveling through the desert, me and my friend, the priestess of Sarenre, along with the little red folk fellow who's asked for our help, and the 2 cutthroats. We get to the red folk village and see their bodies lying around, all drained dry. We figured we'd have to fight vampires. That's how the little red folk described the monsters who attacked their village. And that's why we went in all brazen-like. The sun was high, and the vampires couldn't attack until dusk. But we never got a chance to look around. Black shadows, quick as the wind, attacked us from all sides. Not vampires, but chupacabras. One of the lads we pulled from the gallows got killed right away. The second one ran for his life. That left me, the red folk, and Kira, that was the name of the priestess, and we all steeled ourselves for the fight of our lives. And just when we thought the end had come, the chupacabras surrounding me like a pack of dogs around a bear, our red folk friend wounded and down, and the teeth of the quickest of those blasted monsters clenched on Kira's shoulder. Right then, when all hope was lost, the other lad from the gallows suddenly comes running back. Killed the beast attacking Kira. I'm sure you know what a turning point in a fight looks like. Well, this was it. A moment before, we were lost. And a moment later, we had it back under control. The chupacabras dropped dead. One by one. The little red folk is united with his family, who were hiding in the basement. The priestess and I closed the eyes of that boy from the gallows who saved us. It was a shame he didn't survive the fight. May the gods keep his soul in its journey through the afterlife. Well, that's a good story. He could have died in disgrace on the gallows, but instead he died a hero. And I'd fancy the stunt earned him some points at his final judgment. It's smart to remember our journey doesn't end in death. Had it not been for that mercy, Milos, that was his name, would be hanging from a noose, and me, Kira, and all the red folk would be dead in that village. Someone told me that a kind deed done by an unkind person is 100 times more precious. By the same token, an evil done by a noble soul is 100 times more horrifying. That's what I really wanted to say. The chupacabras were just a good starting point. What made you become a paladin of Iomide? Seelah's gaze sharpens momentarily, then she sighs. 1 second. That's a serious question and a good one. You should ask it of your companions. But it's a long story. To start with, 12 years ago I was nothing like the person I am now. I roamed the streets of Sorku with the other homeless orphans. I stole, I fought. I was a hired sword for a bit. Not the proper origin for a paladin, is it? Back then, Sorku was a city of orphans, widows and widowers. Gnolls decimated the city regularly. Their parents were among their victims. People there heard about new death before they had finished mourning their precious losses. One day, a group of knights of Iomide brought a glimmer of hope to the city, but while others saw them as saviors and protectors, I was busy pricing up their noble horses and their gleaming mithril armor, wondering just how much one of their pretty swords would fetch. Well, thief lives, one day at a time. That's what they say. I was the type that never thought past the next job. Anyway, I was able to sneak into the knight's camp and steal one of their mithril helms. Seelah pauses, her voice sad and measured, and I was right there when a gnoll attacked the helm's owner. Akemi was her name, and dealt a blow to her unprotected head. The gnoll, like all those others she'd fearlessly driven from the gates of Sorku. That one blow was fatal, but who was really to blame for her death? The gnoll attacker or the young thief named Seelah? Even a seemingly small misdeed can have terrible consequences. Yes, you're right, 1,000 times over. I hate to say it, but I just didn't see it back then, and if I had never got that lesson, my eyes would probably never have been opened. Who knows what would have happened to me if it wasn't for Akemi and her bravery, and her death. Maybe the world would know Seelah as a bandit, not as a knight and protector of those in need. There's a saying I like to remember. People rarely find redemption on their own. Sometimes someone must show them the way. The daring and noble Akemi was a paladin of Iomide, whose death inspired a young Seelah to join the ranks of the Knights of the Glorious Goddess. Seelah honors her memory and treats her like a mentor, though they never once spoke while Akemi was alive. But you were asking what brought me into the ranks of Iomide's warriors. We all choose the paladin's path for our own reasons. Some are guided by nobility of spirit, some by a desire to fight injustice. I became who I am through penance and a debt unpaid. The day Akemi died protecting my city, I wanted to kill myself for the terrible guilt I felt. But then I realized I wouldn't make the world any better, and I decided that instead I'd try to take her place. I'd become who she had been and protect the innocents that she would no longer be able to protect. What are the principles that paladins of Iomide follow? I'll tell you. I like to recite our code. It feels like I've said it 1,000 times, but it never gets old. There's strength in these words. After a pause, she begins, her voice slow and meditative. I'm going to pause after this for a minute. I will learn the weight of my sword. Without my heart to guide it, it is worthless. My strength is not in my sword, but in my heart. If I lose my sword, I have lost a tool. If I betray my heart, I have died. Alrighty, and we are back again. The only thing I don't like about these games, where I have to talk so much, it's very hard to take little pauses. example, just stand up, walk 10 seconds around. This kind of reminds me of an old machinima. An old fan-made video about World of Warcraft. Names in stone, spirits of legends, deeds unknown yet never forgotten. We are the Duranin, with honor within and with fear without. I still remember these words. It was a glorious age of MMORPGs. If you remember these words as well, that's super cool. Anyway, continue. I will have faith in the Inheritor. I will channel her strength through my body. I will shine in her legion, and I will not tarnish her glory through base actions. I am the first into battle, and the last to leave it. I will not be taken prisoner by my free will. I will not surrender those under my command. I will never abandon a companion, though I will honor sacrifice freely given. Abandon a companion. There are videos showing that Russian officers are shooting hurt Russian soldiers on the ground to death. They could be saved, they could be brought to a hospital. Their injuries aren't that severe, but they are being shot. Apparently, Russia doesn't want to waste resources on healing their own soldiers. It's beyond cruel. It's beyond evil. It's just... If I would be the president of the country and I would hear of such a tale, I would go search on my own to see if that is true. And if I would find proof, video, audio files, I would act immediately. Make sure that those people are punished immediately. Putin? He gives medals to mass murderers. It's just... As I once said, Hitler would be proud. I mean, Lavrov said that Jews are Nazis. It's just... What? What? It's just... Huh? But... Huh? It's just... Russia has abandoned all reason. It's just... I can't even form words. I'm speechless. It's just... The utmost stupidity, the madness, the brutality, the murderous rage for no reason. It's just... There's only one country that needs to be demilitarized, and that is not Ukraine. There's only one country on Earth threatening everyone with death because they want to kill innocent people. Anyway, I will guard the honor of my fellows, both thought and deed, and I will have faith in them. When in doubt, I may enforce my enemies to surrender, but I am responsible for their lives. I will never refuse a challenge from an equal. I will give honor to worthy enemies and contempt to the rest. I will suffer death before dishonor. I will be temperate in my actions and moderate in my behavior. I will strive to emulate Iomedes' perfection. When Descari attacked Kinabris, everything seemed to be lost. But the first person I met after the catastrophe was you, my sister in faith. I believe this is a sign that Iomedes watches over us. I hope that is true. Although, to be honest, our mentors used to warn us against being too eager to see messages from the goddess in every little thing. Being devout is all well and good, but you've got to rely on your own head. It's very wise. Thank you. I've learned everything I want to know. I hope I didn't bore you. Ask me something else if you like. What do you think of what's going on in Kinablis? It's complete chaos. It's lucky we're here to handle it, right? Seelah smiles brightly, and then she gives you a worried look. Does the way I talk bother you? I know I can seem, I say, many good people and our protector Terendel have died here in Kinablis. The paladin of Iomedes is expected to be properly respectful and solemn. But I prefer to face my troubles with a smile and a bit of common sense. Grief is a weapon they'll use against you. It can undermine warrior's spirit. It's better we hold off on grief until we've driven the last demon and cultist from the city. There's wisdom... Wait, what? No. Yeah, I'm not bothered by how you talk. What matters is how you fight. Now you're talking sense. Well, you can trust in my sword. Is fighting demons all you want, or are you looking for something more? How about covering myself in glory and becoming the hero of 100 ballads? Or at least a dozen, if they're lively ones. Seelah's eyes shine cheerfully. Anyway, to be more serious. The area around the World Wound is the best place for a paladin who wishes to defend the weak and serve good. Being part of the crusade is reward enough for me, but there's something that worries me. I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing my brothers in arms, but the Eagle Watch and the other orders are focused on just one aim: the war against the World Wound. That's why they can sometimes overlook the smaller things, ordinary misfortunes, you know. I always liked being a wandering knight, because any moment I could get up and go help a poor rat folk whose family had been kidnapped, or an old woman whose favorite dog had gone missing. So, here's my answer. I don't have some big important goal, but I'll be happy to help those who need it, a little bit here and there. Thank you for speaking with me. Until next time. Alrighty. Maybe we can dive into other areas now. Back in the day when I tried to cross the chasm, we couldn't, but that was before we conquered the marketplace. Maybe now that we conquered the marketplace, we can get into other regions. Let's just try it. Yeah, our party's fine. Some enemies you will meet while exploring the lands of the World Wound. Blah blah blah. Yeah, maybe... Yes, maybe we can cross this chasm now. Journey will take 4 hours. Can we get there now? Topaz Solutions. Oh, we can! Okay, never mind. We failed to sneak past the enemies. Prepare to fight. Okay.
Defeat is not an option.
I'm up for an adventure.
Oh, hanged cultist, what's that? A corpse wearing the robe of a worshipper of Descari hangs from a signpost. It's been here for a while, but the bag on its belt remains undamaged. You can procure some reagents for creating consumable items here. Yes?
We are the light! They are the darkness!
We shall overcome!
You should have listened to
The
reason.
light! Take you!
You won't stop us.
This is a bit annoying from a quality of life perspective. It's just not interesting. I don't like this concept, yet you are being attacked constantly by some random creatures. Topaz Solutions. This alchemist's laboratory used to sell potent potions at reasonable prices. The shop's owner was always very polite and friendly, yet many customers found his watchful glare rather uncomfortable.
They will break against our resolve. Your
Your pain is my pleasure. Whoa, that must have hurt.
I will guide us.
This is definitely annoying.
Combat abilities.
Do not hold back.
So it comes to this.
Godspeed.
Let's prove their logic is lacking. Surrender, or else!
Anyone mind telling me why suddenly the chest sprung to life and tried to kill us? What is this, Harry Potter? The heck?
Let us press on. We will prevail.
Mind over muscle!
Strike as one. Attack!
You're a rogue! Into the fray!
Just sit here. Don't worry about me. Just sit here. Don't worry about me.
What crossbow? That one looks interesting. Hello there. Demonic heart. Oh yeah, yeah.
We will win this war.
Fish on a stick. Guide for travelers, hunters, and explorers of the River Kingdoms, Volume 5. Will-O-Wisp. We already read that one, so we don't need to read it again. That's it? Okay. Alrighty, what else do we have? Tirabate residents. Despite their high standing in the city, the Tirabate family lived in a simple house far away from the wealthy neighborhoods. Most of the houses on the streets are now ruined and abandoned, but this one seems intact, although the broken door makes one wonder if there's still anything of value left inside. Oh, let's find out. That's the story for the next episode.